Hi guys, I'm Asher. Today's video will be about a couple of short stories from the Sword Oratoria light novels. The first one is a scene in which Eyes feels jealous when she sees Tiona and Belle passionately chatting about the heroic tales they both love. The second is a curious scene in which Tiona goes to congratulate Belle on winning the war games, but then the girl gets too excited and puts Belle in an embarrassing position. Which of these two girls do you like the most? I know there is a lot of debate when it comes to deciding which one is the best DanMachi girl, and which one deserves to be Belle's wife. Personally, I wouldn't mind if Eyes was the official wife and the others were part of his harem. But well, let me know your opinion in the comments. By the way, as a precaution, I have created a secondary channel, so please subscribe to that channel as well. Also, if you like my videos and want to help the channel, you can do it on Patreon or by becoming a member here on YouTube. The links will be in the description. But well, without anything else to say, let's get started. Tiona greeted Belle with excitement, and asked the boy to continue the conversation they had had the day before. Belle greeted her back and accepted her request. Eyes stared at Tiona and Belle as they were talking. It was the morning after Hestia and the rescue team had arrived at the 18th floor. At the campsite, Tiona was smiling cheerfully while starting a conversation with the boy, who sat around idly since the moment he had finished the cleaning after breakfast. Eyes' eyes were glued to the boy and the girl whose shoulders were almost touching. She didn't know how to put it, but she felt a strange feeling of distance between them, and that worried her. It was as if a pet she had grown attached to had now become attached to others. Something like loneliness, or something more complicated. Anyway, those unidentifiable feelings made her all fidgety. While Belle and Tiona were talking as if they finally found a kindred spirit in each other, Eyes made up her mind after some time. She wanted to cut into their conversation and let her join them. Meanwhile, Tiona asked Belle if he knew the story of Elna and the masked knight from Arcadia. Belle told her that he wasn't sure he had ever heard of that story, but that he could tell her the story of the Skeleton King. Eyes didn't understand anything they were talking about. A shiver ran through Eyes. Although she had some confidence in her knowledge since her mother used to tell her many fairy tales when she was young, she could not follow the conversation at all. She then remembered Loki's words from some time ago. Listen, in this world there are some hardcore specialists we call otaku. Eyes broke out in a sweat as the conversation unfolded before her eyes. She was completely kept out of the loop and began bobbing up and down restlessly. Meanwhile, Tiona asked Belle if he knew the story of Sleeping Beauty, as it was one of the girl's favorite tales. She reacted with divine speed after hearing the name of a familiar story. I know that too. She bent forward and nearly yelled. After she interrupted the conversation, Belle and Tiona looked at her flabbergasted. Facing their puzzled gazes, Eyes lost her cool and reflexively raised her voice. It was an unusual sight, but the Sword Prince's face turned red. Yes, so. I'm too. Her voice sounded like it was about to disappear and she was casting her eyes downwards, her face still bright red. Adorable, adorable. Tiona chuckled at the girl, while Belle turned bright red and covered his mouth with his hand. It was late afternoon. A few days had passed since the war game had stirred up the city. Tiona was walking along the main street in her usual carefree manner when she spotted the back of a familiar-looking figure in the hustle and bustle of the city. Oh, it's Argonaut-kun. Her body was moving even before she could raise her voice. Energetically, she broke into a jog and jumped on the boy's back. Hey, Argonaut-kun. Ah? The boy who got jumped on from behind, Belle Crenelle, was startled. Understandably. Tiona was so excited that she threw her arms around him like she does with Eyes and Lafia. But, well, whatever, was what she thought while breaking into a broad grin. She remembered that she felt like a child reading a new heroic tale when she saw his gallant figure during the war game, and began to speak with an excited voice. "Congratulations, Argonaut-kun. The war game was great. I was so excited in front of the mirror. Oh, did you get I's congratulatory flower bouquet already? I wanted to tag along when she gave it to you, but then something came up and I couldn't." Hugging his back, she wrapped her slender legs around Belle's torso and ruffled his white shock of hair. The crowd was stunned seeing the girl clinging to him like a monkey in the middle of the street. Finn and the others also said that Argonaut was amazing. "Oh, what's wrong?" Tiona had slightly rosy cheeks, and had been rambling one-sidedly when she realized that the boy hadn't said a word. She tilted her head. With his eyes cast downward and his face red up to the ears, the boy was uttering something in a voice that sounded like it was going to disappear any second. Tiona. Your breast is touching me." Tiona stopped moving when Belle spoke up. His face was bright red with shame. Indeed, the back of the boy's head was touching Tiona's breast. It was only a slight bulge, but it was definitely a breast that was softly adhering to Belle's head. Suddenly, Tiona looked up to the sky. What came back to her mind were the many insults that had been hurled at her, things such as, "no boobs," or "flat-chested." Then, the girl returned her gaze to the boy who was embarrassed by her breasts, and broke into a grin. Hey, Tiona-san, why are you squeezing me even harder? Please don't press your breasts against me without saying a word. Huh? Why are you smirking? Hee hee hee. Hey, stop, give me a break, please." People tilted their heads at the sight of the screaming boy and the girl vigorously pressing her breasts against him. And well, that was all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up, share the video and leave your opinion in the comments. I will be reading your opinions. Also join Discord, there we can talk about DanMachi and even other animes. The link is in the video description. Best regards and see you next time.